All right, y'all. Period. I just had to hop on here, make this video real quick so that I would not forget and to document this. This is very important. So on my way home, I just saw a friend of mine post that they got introduced to women's Southern cloth or women's Southern traditional powwow dance. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. You know, another person dancing Southern cloth, because that's my category. That's what I dance. That's my main category. And another thing that made me even more excited was that this person is also Nawa and Otomi, like me. So whenever I see any kind of south of the border, south of the current border anyway, indigenous people dancing powwow, I love it. And I want to see more of it, damn it. Y'all need to get out there, learn about the learn about powwow dance, learn about dancing in the arena, learn about the circle, learn about all of that. I want us as Southern, I don't even want to hear it. I'm gonna call us that for the purposes of this video. South of the border Native people, I want to see us get in the powwow circle. We need to be in there too, because there's medicine there. And if you live in the United States and Canada, where powwows take place, or other places in the world where powwows take place, because they do them in Europe sometimes too and whatnot, right? But if you live in the US and Canada, damn it, and you are a south of the border Native, go to powwows, learn about them. Learn about the different categories. Learn about the different sets of regalia. Learn about, okay, you know, this kit, as my nana used to call it, this kit goes with this dance, and this is, you know, whatever. And learn the stories, because they're beautiful. Number one, they're beautiful. Number two, there's so much medicine in the dances and the stories and all of that. And that's not to say that every single person that dances powwow is, you know, in prayer when they're dancing and stuff like that. Because, you know, there is such a thing as competition dancing. There's dancing to dance, and there's competition dancing, in my book at least. In my book, make the clear distinction between dancing to dance, dancing as prayer, you know, dancing to dance, and dancing for competition. I make that clear distinction in my book. And that is based on my own beliefs, and that is based on what I was taught by my nana. So anyways, I don't know, I feel called to say this right now. I've never really told anybody this, but I was brought into powwow dancing by my nana Charlotte. And she was and is, you know, somewhere not here on this realm anymore. She is Mississippi Choctaw, and she brought me into the powwow circle, and she had been dancing since God knows when. She just told me don't say when she was born. I just got the feeling for not to reveal her age like that, but she had been dancing a very, very, very long time as a Southern straight dancer, because in her previous existence, as she used to call it, or her twin used to dance Southern straight, but her category was Southern traditional. That's what she danced. And our greatest dream was to dance in the circle together. But because you know, I was always busy with one thing or another, and because of my sewing skills at the time had not yet advanced to put together the regalia that she wanted to dance in, she never got to dance in the powwow circle as herself in the category that she wanted, in the regalia that she wanted, you know, that she had designed. She already had the designs drawn up and everything. We just needed somebody to make it. But anyways, hold on. I'm finding it. Yes, south of the border Native people need to look into powwows. Go to powwows. Don't feel ashamed to go to them. If you are detribalized, don't know where you're from, don't, you know, none of that, go to powwows. Enjoy the powwow. I'm not saying go there and be like the token Indian of, you know, whatever country you're from, south of the border or whatever. Or I'm not saying like be weird about it and like breathing down people's faces, necks and stuff like that at the powwow. You know, don't be weird about it. Just go and have fun at the event. Like, treat it as any other kind of, you know, function that you would go to. And I really want to see more south of the border Native people dancing in powwows, in their native regalia, in your people's regalia, your nation's regalia. It's beautiful when you wear the regalia that corresponds to the dance that you're dancing, right? And of course there are, you know, everybody's regalia is different because of tribal affiliation and personal preference. But I think it's beautiful when south of the border Native people dance in powwows and they dance using US or Canadian regalia that corresponds to, you know, their respective categories, right? I think that's beautiful. I think that's wonderful. But you know what I think is even more beautiful? And I am going to say that. I think it's even more beautiful to see, and don't get me wrong, I don't even want to hear it in the comments or whatever. I'm not talking about people's regalia, the way it looks, the way it's constructed, nothing like that. I'm talking about, to me personally, the spirit shines more when south of the border Native people wear their south of the border indigenous regalia and dance powwow. And let me tell you, that is something that I hardly ever see. I have absolutely never seen anybody else who is Nawa dance in a powwow in the US or Canada, or anywhere else for that matter, dancing in Nawa regalia, but myself. I danced this year for the first time in a powwow because I live in the South and, you know, it's kind of dangerous. But anyways, I danced at the Bates Powwow, the Bay Area American Indian Two-Spirit Powwow in San Francisco this February. And I busted my ass to make my Nawa regalia, my Two-Spirit Nawa regalia, for that powwow so I could dance that powwow. Number one, as a Nawa person, south of the border Native person, dancing in that powwow was amazing because I hardly ever see south of the border people dancing in powwows, period. And there were other, I'm only aware of one person that was for sure south of the border Native dancing powwow dance in the powwow. I'm not talking about how they have danza mexica specials like before the powwow or in between the categories and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that because that's danza mexica. I'm talking about south of the border Native people dancing powwow dance at the powwow, dancing powwow at a powwow. And that was the first time I had ever seen someone dance in Nawa regalia myself, as a Nawa person dancing in the powwow. So that was beautiful for me. I loved it so much. I know my Nana was so happy to see me, you know, dancing as a Nawa person in the powwow. The way that she taught me, you know, because she brought me into the powwow circle. Dancing as a Nawa person in the powwow. In the Two-Spirit powwow, because she always wanted to go to that Bates powwow. And I went this year, you know, in honor of her and also for myself. And everything just aligned so perfectly for me to go. And anyways, that's neither here nor there. But I saw some other people, let me see, just a couple people dancing powwow dance in their native regalia, in their south of the border native regalia. And I loved it. I thought it was so beautiful. I saw, off the top of my head, I can only remember seeing one person dancing south of the border native regalia, dancing powwow dance. And this person danced men's traditional, I think it was Southern Straight. I can't remember. I think they just had the traditional categories together, like Northern and Southern or whatever. But this person danced men's traditional in their south of the border native regalia. They were wearing a huipil, and I can't remember what they were wearing on the bottom. If it was a mashtlat, or I think it was a mashtlat, the loincloth, mashtlat. And people in, I don't do danza azteca, I don't do danza mexica, so I don't know exactly what the teachings are. I am Nahua though, so I do know that, you know, of course time has passed and it depends on the people that teach it, you know, the calpuli and everything, but I've seen mashtlatl in danza mexica circles called maztla, M-A-Z-T-L-A. Not for me. I'm going to say mashtlatl because that's the way it's said in Nahuatl. And, you know, and that's neither here nor there. That's just me being a linguistics, you know, nerd, whatever. And my love for my own culture, shit, the fuck. But anyways, sorry gonna excuse me about the cussing, but I'm a sailor. But anyways, I need to see more south of the border native people. To sum this whole video up, I need to see more south of the border native people dancing in their south of the border native regalia at the powwows. And I'm not saying anything at all against south of the border people that want to dance in, you know, more northern style native regalia like US and Canadian. That's all fine and dandy, and it's beautiful, and I don't want to come across any kind of way like I'm looking down on that or like I don't approve of it. I love it. I fucking dance myself. I dance southern cloth in northern regalia too, you know, and I make that regalia myself, and I love northern regalia so much. But I think that it is so beautiful to see the mixing of cultures. Like, yes, we are migrants. We have migrated from our traditional homelands to wherever we are now. Yes, we are just as indigenous as the peoples of indigenous to the US and Canada, what is now known as the US and Canada. And yes, we have every right to dance in powwows as well. And while it is beautiful when we dance in powwows in northern regalia, I think it's very beautiful because it's an outward expression of your culture. You're outwardly expressing, hey, I am a south of the border native and I am here north of the border in a powwow dancing in my native regalia, in my, you know, my home country, my home nation, my indigenous nation's regalia. I'm here representing my nation in our clothes. That is so beautiful, damn it. And I love seeing it. I love seeing it. And if anybody is Nahua and needs help and wants to dance powwow dance and needs help getting into the circle, being introduced into the circle, and making regalia, or at least figuring out, okay, I want to dance this powwow category, how can I make Nahua regalia that, you know, is conducive to dancing that dance? Because when I dance southern cloth, I dance, and when I use my Nahua regalia, I dance in a kechkemit that I made, and I dance in a koyit, a wrap skirt, a traditional wrap skirt that I made, and a kechkemit that I made, and I wear a huipili underneath that corresponds, you know, to my regalia. I didn't make the huipili, but it's rainbow too. And my kechkemit is rainbow. My koyit matches the kechkemit, which is also rainbow. Hold on, I'm getting a call. But anyways, yeah, thank you. Love y'all. Contact me. I love y'all so much.